How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another team selection video on the FPLijah YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. Let's get straight into the party. Did I say party? Oh, at an average of 98 points per game week and an overall rank of 22k so early on, I'd say yeah, it's a party, mate.
I killed it, it's murder.
Can I get a whoop whoop? Anyway, this has been my best start to a season, despite being at an all-time high rank of 550th at some point last season. So let's see where the points came from this past game week, starting with the bench. Fortunately for me, the bench was not required at all, with every single player getting 0 points. Ben Foster and Scarlett didn't feature again as expected. Ben White is actually sick at the moment as he's tested positive for COVID. I wish him a speedy recovery and I hope he gets better very soon. And Daniel Amati was in a Leicester side that was absolutely battered by West Ham on Monday night. Moving on to the starting 11, in goal, Sanchez managed to keep a clean sheet against Watford, and to be honest, I didn't expect it at all with how well Watford started in the first game week. So these points are a bonus in my opinion. In defense, Trent came away with an assist, a clean sheet and 3 bonus points. Luke Ayling unfortunately just had 1 point in a 2-2 draw with Everton, and Luke Shaw, despite not keeping a clean sheet, left the game with 2 bonus points. In midfield, starting with the first game of the game week and my captain, Mo Salah. Mo was very unfortunate to not come away with an attacking return. He scored a brilliant goal which was marginally offside and the call was correct. Just by the way, I'm really enjoying the new rules with regards to VAR, offsides, fouls and penalties so far this season. Anyway, back onto Mo. After scoring an offside goal, he then squared a tap-in for Mane, and until this very moment, I still have no idea how Sadio didn't score that. Mo left the game with a blank, and all of us that captained him over Bruno were absolutely bricking it. But the FPL gods came through for us and ensured that Bruno himself blanked as well, with Mo scoring 2 more points than he did. Thank you, FPL gods. I appreciate you. If you're new to FPL and are wondering why I would be happy about a player of mine blanking, well, I've explained how effective ownership works in my Q&A video for Gameweek 2, so please check that out. I've added it in the description of this video. Basically, since I didn't captain Bruno, with him having an effective ownership of over 100%, every point he scored would mean a drop in rank for me, and thankfully it was just 1 point. Now moving on to my consistent midfield triple threat that pushed my ranks up: Greenwood, Benrahma and Jota. Mason Greenwood scored a goal and took all 3 bonus points. Diogo Jota scored a goal and Benrahma. What can I say about the lad? In the words of Mikel Antonio, the boy's been on fire. The boy has been on fire. Scoring a goal, an assist and 2 bonus points. Up top, Danny Ings, although not taking a load of shots, scored a brilliant bicycle kick, and Antonio being Antonio, scored 2 goals, 1 assist and took all 3 bonus points. With the transfer banked in Gameweek 2, I have 2 free transfers that I can use for Gameweek 3, so let's get into my transfer thoughts for the game week. As of this moment, there still isn't a transfer that I want to make, as every player in my team is in really good form or has great fixtures ahead, which means I've planned really well and have been on the right side of luck for the first 2 game weeks. But I have to use a transfer this game week, since we're only allowed to have a maximum of 2 free transfers available to us at any given point. So if I don't make a transfer, I will essentially lose out on 1 free transfer. And since I can make a luxury transfer, I think I will use that to offload Daniel Amati. But before I get into who I intend on bringing in for Amati, let me tell you my quick thoughts on why you should have 2 free transfers for Gameweek 4. After Gameweek 3 is done, then comes the dreaded international break, where certain players will go off and play for their countries. Usually after an international break, quite so often, some players come back injured and more recently, come back COVID positive. Or depending on the country that they've played in, may have to wait a certain period before being allowed to play again in the Premier League based on COVID protocols and may miss Gameweek 4. The wise thing would be is to have 2 free transfers, unless of course you've already made early transfers. Since Amati is just 4 million, I can only bring in a player with 1 free transfer that is 4 million as well and is hopefully a bit more nailed than he is. And that player is none other than Valentino Livramento. Shane Duffy would have been an option, but he's already increased in price and out of reach. But if both were still the same price, I'd still be tempted to bring in Livramento over Duffy. Shane Duffy is likely to lose his starting position once Brighton gets a fully fit squad, but at the moment, Duffy is nailed for a few weeks. Another con of going Duffy in my squad is that I already own Sanchez and would like to avoid a double up in defense that isn't Trent and Robertson, if you know what I mean. Livramento looks nailed at the moment and is playing very attacking. He's due a price rise within the next 2 days, so I may make the transfer soon. I'll likely post it on Twitter the moment I do, so if you don't follow me yet, I think it's about time that you do. With that transfer in mind, this is how the team is likely to line up in Gameweek 3. On the bench we have Ben Foster and Scarlett, who is unlikely to play, as well as Ben White, who isn't expected to feature as well, as he's still recovering from COVID. I've got Livramento first on the bench, but he could easily start for me this game week ahead of Luke Ayling. At this very moment though, I prefer having him on the bench with Luke Ayling starting against Burnley. In goal, I've got Sanchez. If he keeps a clean sheet against such an attacking Everton side of late, I'd be shocked. In defense, I've got Trent against Chelsea, and I don't expect a huge haul here, but any kind of return will be great. Luke Ayling against Burnley, he should hopefully get a minimum of a clean sheet, and Luke Shaw against Wolves, I hope he finally gets an attacking return this game week. In midfield, we've got the powerhouse 5 again, Salah against Chelsea, and I expect him to have an effective ownership of under 100% for the first time this season. Bruno and Greenwood against Wolves, Benrahma against Palace, and Dio goal against Chelsea as well. Despite Jota's great form, this is the game my gut tells me that he'll likely be benched for Firmino and come on as an impact sub. Even in 30 minutes, he could still get an attacking return. Jota hopefully starts though. Up top, I have Danny Ings and Antonio with 2 great fixtures. I expect both of them to return again. The big question this game week is captaincy. Mo against Chelsea? Nah, I don't fancy it to be honest. Maybe Bruno against an attacking Wolves side that will leave space in behind? What about going a bit differential this game week? Maybe go with Greenwood or Benrahma, like I'm seeing with so many people on Twitter? Maybe it really should be Antonio with how amazing his form is at the moment, or will Danny Ings finally get his brace this game week? For me, my captaincy is currently on Bruno. In past seasons, this would 100% be the game week I go differential for captaincy, but I've told myself that this season, I will go for the consistent FPL players that return week in, week out. Everyone is going on as if Bruno is playing against Man City. It's Bruno for me. At the moment, it's Bruno, with my vice being Antonio. I know that this game week there are a lot of questions regarding selling Barnes, bringing in Benrahma, captaincy, selling Salah for Son, and so on. If I have the time to make another video this week, I definitely will make one answering all these questions. But if I don't have the time to make a video, I will post a thread on Twitter answering every single one of these questions, as well as on Instagram. Comment below if you have any questions and I will answer them. If you're enjoying the content here, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video and let me know your thoughts. Good luck for the game week everyone, and remember to FPL responsibly.